we heard young people being called to the issue of climate change. Now that we've listened to voices of change, as well as solutions and ideas about this crisis, it's important to talk about youth leadership and its impact on our society. For me, that leadership started at my church. This past year, we began a transition to look for a new pastor. And while I had been a part of the church community as a Sunday school teacher, mission trip participant, and youth deacon, I had no idea what this new direction could look like. But I did feel like this was the perfect time to see what was wrong in our community. So I spoke to church leadership and community members, and I began to realize that in order to figure out what our church needed to focus on during this transition, we just needed to ask questions. To do this, I used social science research methods to develop a congregational survey. I sent out the survey, and after collecting and analyzing it, I was able to provide church leadership with empirical data and valuable insights, as well as suggest changes and additions to programming. Now, I'm sure you're all wondering, how does this relate to climate change? Well, leading the fight for our Earth is really not that different to other kinds of leaderships. It's new. Conducting market research for a church can be translated into research for an environmental organization. Speaking to and working with leadership to help them accomplish their goals and reach out to youth audiences can create environmental change just as well as it can create change in our communities. Youth can work within existing structures to help enact change in all kinds of ways. And we've seen this. Influential youth leaders like Greta Thunberg, organizations promoting conservation like the Boy Scouts, and even the talks we all heard tonight. Whether large or small scale, every action has the potential to create positive difference in the local or global community, and it's important for young people to invest in the future. Small local leadership, in fact, is often the reason communities change their practices and their attitudes, removing helplessness from their vocabulary. So ask yourself and the people around you, what can we do to make change happen? What can we do to support environmental efforts in our own communities? How can we start to think about the future, the global implications of our actions? How do we develop the power to believe in combined effort? Looking back at my process, I witnessed my involvement in church develop into action. I saw how youth leadership brought something new to the table, and I saw a positive change in my community. I didn't solve every single problem in my church, and we may not solve every single component of climate change. But without action, without leadership, we will solve nothing. Listen, I am not here because I am an expert. I did not prevent water levels from rising or change environmental laws. But I did become a leader in my community, and I brought new knowledge to a known issue through clear, actionable change. I now challenge you to do the same. Thank you.